Okay, so now we're going to take a look at another one of these horror movies that's on Shudder at the moment that's about to come out on DVD. I'm going to take a look at Scare Me. Now, I don't like trashing movies on this show. I've always hated doing it, but I'm always honest for all the listeners out there who want to know my opinion on a film. Now, I was really excited to actually sit down and watch Scare Me. I loved Werewolves Within that came out earlier this year. So when I learnt that this was from the same director-writer, Josh Rubin, I was kind of excited to sit down and watch it. But I have to say, Scare Me is probably one of the most disappointing movies I've watched, not only this year, but that I've ever seen. There's a running gag amongst my friends and I. When we see a film and I say it's bad, they ask me, how bad is it compared to Cosmopolis? Because they know that that is one of my least favorite movies of all time. And I've got to say, this film is right down there with it. The film itself, pretty basic kind of storyline. Fred, played by Josh Rubin, is someone who wants to be a writer. He's working in advertising. He wants to get into novel writing or screenwriting, and so he goes to this cabin in the woods to try and get some motivation. Now, while he's there, he runs into Fanny, played by Aya Cash, who is a successful writer. She's just had a hit novel come out. She's also gone to these woods to sit down and write. They run into each other while they're out jogging. Fanny doesn't particularly like Fred. Fred is socially awkward around her. But then the two of them find themselves in the same cabin when a storm knocks out the power. And to pass the time, they decide to start trying to tell each other horror stories that are going to frighten each other. And it kind of manifests from there. But I've got to say, this film is massively too long for a start. It goes for an hour and 44 minutes, and you feel every one of those 104 minutes, sadly. This is a film that, like, I would have said it was kind of a bad movie, even if it was 80 minutes long, but the fact that this storyline just does not captivate you at all, and it's stretched out to an hour and 44 minutes, just makes it an absolutely enduring watch. I'm kind of surprised that I didn't like this film, because there's been films in the past that have been minimalistic with not a very big cast that I've absolutely loved. I love this film called The Ice House that came out, I think, in the early 90s, that did this kind of thing so well that I really, really loved it. But I don't know, I think the worst part about this film is the characters are so unlikable. Fred is not a likable character, and from some of the stuff I've read on IMDb, a lot of people have watched this film and kind of thought that Josh Rubin has wanted Fred not to be a likable character because it's making a comment about masculinity in Hollywood. But if that was the case, then Fanny should have been a character that I felt for, and I didn't. I found her a horrible character as well. And as this film went on, I was just hoping that both of them got killed because I wanted the film to end. The only character in this entire film that I kind of liked was Bettina, the Uber/taxi driver played by Rebecca Drysdale. I found her character fascinating, but the other characters, I just did not. I wanted to. That was the thing that really, really annoyed me, was that I sat down to watch this film and I thought I was going to be in for something really special, and I wasn't. I found the two-hander kind of trying to outdo each other with horror stories while making fun of Hollywood bit that was happening between Fred and Fanny. I found that completely tedious to try and watch it. I found no enjoyment at all out of this movie. I'm glad that Josh Rubin has moved on from this and has done something like Werewolves Within, because I absolutely love that film, but I'm sorry, I can't give Scare Me any more than 1 out of 5. I really, really didn't like it.